Asia Nistelaja, Colossal and a snit, just a lesson at Satnich yet Homish, Helisen at Jatlas 8 lungs, Helisen at Jatlas 8 lungs, each is in La Snidquat, Neil the 2 was 8 lungs, and a Satnich Hungoch. Quackle the mat and a teen, Kiant and a main. They want a mat and a sila, Squeakala chapla, Iat, Iasnate, Iat, Skananacht, Iat, Willard Joseph, Tanasil Sila, Stichawat tight, Iat, Nakalos, Iat, Iasnatat, Tana, Natgana, Tawathet, Tanastalis. So I just said my name is Tiffany Joseph, my Sinchatha name is Cholossalwit. It translates to camera lady. I got that name because my teachers, when I was learning Sinchathan, I always had either my photo camera or my video camera with me all the time. And my parents are Patrick and Anna Joseph. My mother's Quaquafamat, my father's Kiam. My living grandparent is Thiwanamat, Geraldine Underwood, maiden name Thorne, from Cowichan. And my late grandparents are Squeakalachup, George Underwood, Skananacht, late Yvonne Joseph, and Willard Joseph. I have 3 children, Cash, Nathan, and Callie, and their names are Istichawat, Nikalos, and Iasnadat. Istichawat means smart, intelligent, or clever boy, and Nikalos means the same thing, but with the added characteristic of to be sensible. And my daughter is Iasnatat, which means makes us peaceful. I am Satnich, which is the saltwater people, and Skotmish, which are the freshwater people. So that really urges me and implores me to remind people that we are people of the water. When in English we'll always say land, it's just natural to say that. But for my people as Satnich, as Skotmish people, when I think of our land, I think of the water. My people, the Satnich people, we're in the Garryoak ecosystem and the coastal Douglas fir ecosystem, and the coastal Douglas fir ecosystem includes cedar. And you know, it's only now that our ecosystem is really being threatened of loss of like really major parts of major plants that are a part of our ecosystem, that are a part of our way of life. So cedar is very often referred to as the tree of life because it built, we use the wood to build our plank homes. We use the wood to make our cedar dugout canoes. We use the bark to make baskets, to make headbands, to make our clothing. A human being making a canoe, like there has to be, these plants have to be communicating with us for us to be able to pick up on like, okay, how am I going to take this giant, because the cedars that my ancestors knew were hundreds of feet tall and with trunks big enough for like 30 people to put their arms around at least. So for these giant trees to see a canoe in it, the tree has to be communicating with you. So it's our teacher. And it's been a protector for us. For the Satnich people, the cedar rope is what kept us alive during the flood. The thing is that there's other Indigenous people who've had to experience loss that aren't maybe necessarily as noticeable because it's not a giant Western red cedar that could fill this entire room. It's squash. So what those people did is save seeds. So we can do the same. We can save the seeds. It's so important to save the seeds, and it's so important to know the provenance of those seeds because there's so much to know about trees and how they grow. a really old tree is like a mother, like a grandmother, like a great 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 grandmother who continues to birth and birth and birth new trees. So that, and then all these trees learn about who they are and where they come from because this mother tree is feeding them. Um, but with climate change, things are going to change, and it really does kind of speak to our people and our experience because of residential school and the 60 scoop. Like, many of us have become orphans because we've lost our connection to our grandmother trees. Never talk about our language or our culture as if it's dying, because then that's what you're speaking into reality. Like, if you say the language is dying, it's going to die. If you say our culture is being lost, it's going to get lost. And it can always survive. It can always come back. There's so many ways that it can come back. I often really emphasize to people to also not talk about the land in that way. It's like, this land can never be repaired, or it's never going to be the same. But we can always recover, and that's, I would say, true to the environment. So we just have to be prepared. Do you stand by and cry as the cedar trees die? I can promise you, like, hundreds of cedars are going to die. Are you going to stand there or sit there or lay there and cry about it? Or are you going to be like, well, we need these as a part of our culture. Let's make some baskets. Let's make some clothing. Let's make some canoes. Let's also do the cultural protocols to harvest that, because most of that's in New Channel territory, and much of it is also in Kwakwaka'wakw territory. Like I said, just if those do die off, we can always save the seeds for the future. But also, we can understand, okay, this has been our relationship with cedar. We might not have these giants anymore. So we'll have to look to the smaller plants to be able to and build that relationship and get to know those smaller plants that may be able to help us make baskets, to help us make headbands and headdresses, and develop new and more relationships with plants, because we come from strong people. We've never been ones to think, oh, we're just gonna die off now. Like, we should be dead with the things that they've done to us and the things they've threatened to do with us and the things we stopped them from doing to us, So there's the power of adaptability is incredibly important to remember. So I think it's just a really good time to build that relationship with cedar where you can work with its medicine in a good way. And just like if a relative of yours was passing on, you're like, oh wow, you're clearly gonna go in like a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever that time frame might be. It's like, are you just gonna cry for 5 years when your relative's passing away? Or are you gonna be like, okay, tell me about your life, because you are important and I want to get to know you before you go. I want to make sure that if there's anything you need to say before you go, that I'm here to listen and hear your message, and take it forward with me into the future, because mass extinctions are not new to this planet. So we have an opportunity to be wise in this period of time.